Well, happy Halloween. All right. It's so wonderful to see all of you, and some of you even dressed up. Yes, wonderful. Well, welcome. Welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. My name is Rev Christine Boylan, and today I'm the judge. Today. Hey, you know. It's a tough, oh, I forgot I had my gavel. Yes. So thank you for joining us a few days early for Halloween. And I'm sure everyone who's watching online on our Facebook page, on our website, I assume you're all dressed up also. Yes. Okay. Now today we're raffling off 2 or 3, I think I have a third one now, I don't know what I did with it, daily words for November and December. So you should have gotten a ticket from when you came in. And so if you did not get a ticket, you're going to just take one ticket, put your name on the back, and that's going to go in a basket, which we'll pull out later in the service. So raise your hand if you did not get a ticket and you'd like to win the daily word, right there. Terrific. Well, I also want to thank everyone who helped out with our theater weekend. Who, it seems like that was forever ago, but who here attended that Saturday night or Sunday? Yeah, a lot of you did. It was just wonderful. Thank you for everyone who helped also set up and break down, those who brought in sweets for us to sell, those who helped with the concession table, and special thanks to our 2 actors, Liston Philwa right there, yay, and Kirk Smallage, they gave him such an unusual character to play, a Boston policeman. Yeah, Irish. Yes, Irish. Thank you. It was a stretch, but he did it. So thank you to Liston and Kirk for wonderful performances. And I think this weekend they're at the Hole in the Wall Theater, and then next weekend they're at the Glastonbury Planetarium. But I think that one might be sold out. So Hole in the Wall. Talk to Liston if you're interested in attending. It's definitely well worth it. It was way beyond community theater. It was just terrific. So, and there's a wonderful thank you note that they wrote to us. It's on my office door if you'd like to read it, and we're hoping, as they say, this is the start of a beautiful friendship. So we hope that's true. Well, as you know, next week is our mortgage release ceremony, and it has given us an opportunity to think about the immense milestone that this is in our church and also in the lives of our members and congregants. And at the last board meeting, it was decided to create a Keeper of the Light Award to thank and honor those who, through thought, word, and actions, did what they could do to keep Unity of Greater Hartford not only thriving in our past, but continuing to thrive and grow in our present, and also to have a vision of what our future could be. So we are going to be bestowing that award next week, and I hope you will be here to join with us in doing that. So in order to make sure that you all go to our website and look in your newsletter, that's where you're going to find out who the recipient is. Now, you will find out next week also, but if you want to know before that, you have to do a little homework, so please go do that. But we do want everyone who can be here. It is a big deal to pay off our mortgage. And, you know, of course, we were going to do it at the end of April, but then something else happened. We had a little disruption, and so we had to postpone it, but we're thrilled to finally be able to do it, and we hope that you'll be here to join us. Now, there is a board member on duty on Sunday, and that person is available to you in case you can't find me and there's an issue that needs to be resolved. And so this Sunday, our board member on duty is Rob Morehouse. Rob, there he is. Thank you, Rob. Now, when you arrived, you should have been handed the October bulletin as well as song sheets. And just a reminder that to ask all of you to support us in recycling this paper. There is a basket on a table in the atrium, and just take it out with you and put it in that basket, and we'll take it from there. Now, on that piece of paper that you got, the bulletin, if you have that in front of you, you'll see that there's a welcome affirmation. So find that welcome affirmation, because you're going to say that along with me, all right? Together, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. And of course, here in Unity, we welcome, value, and include everyone, include all people, even little babies. Yes. So as you know, our 2023 theme is Flying in Faith. And our October affirmation, it's on the bulletin, it's also on the homepage of our website. And that affirmation, October affirmation, is Flying in Faith. I am aligned with divine order, and all things work together for good in my life. So now we are going to take a moment for our opening prayer, and I ask that our worship assistant come up and light our Christ candle. And we light this Christ candle as a reminder to all of us that that Christ light burns eternal within us. And not just within us who are here, but within everyone. Even if it's not sometimes all that obvious. That Christ light is burning within everyone. And so we use this candle as a symbol. So let's take that reminder into our opening prayer this morning. And as we do, we're once again going to be holding the high watch for peace. Our neighbors in Maine had a very difficult week, as you probably know. And of course, if you're watching that news, you too probably had a difficult week. I know my heart has been very troubled. And so in our prayer today, we hold the high watch for peace. We hold in prayer all those who have been affected by violence, by hatred, by bigotry, by anger, or just not having a clear perception of their world. We hold all those who have been harmed. We also hold all those who have done the harm. We hold them all in prayer. Affirming peace, first and foremost, in our hearts and minds, peace in our souls. We open our hearts, our minds, our very souls to the peace within, the peace that passes all understanding. So let's take a few moments in the silence, affirming peace within us. Knowing that peace exists right where we are, in the silence. Peace within. Affirming our peace within, we step out into the world, being the very peace that is the divine, being the very expression of the peace that is God. We are peace in the world. I am peace in the world. We embrace this truth. We know this truth down to our very toes. And as we affirm this truth for ourselves, we also say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. So it is. And so now I'd like to welcome to our choir to come on up. And also, I'd like to say good morning to our music director.
Good morning,
Carolyn.
Judge.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on up.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all, both here in our sanctuary and online. So this morning we're going to begin in song. Take a look for the song sheets that you were handed on your way in, the lyric sheets, I should say. And we're going to start off today with Day by Day. So let's stand, if you're able, and sing together.
Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day. Day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. I pray to see thee more clearly, day by day, love thee more dearly, day by day, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, by day by day by day.
And now I want to just introduce our new person in service over here. Maylia is going to join us on the guitar for our next song.
Hey, Maylia!
So I just want to thank her for being willing to step up and be in service musically. All right, here we go.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Use your imagination.
I can see all obstacles in my way. All of the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
little commercial break. Thank you, Carolyn, and the choir. Hi, I'm Catherine Ewing. Nice to be here today as your worship assistant. I'll run down a few things that are happening in Unity today in the coming days. So today, obviously, is our Halloween celebration, if you hadn't figured that out already. Well, I don't know what to say about that if you hadn't figured that out. But so we have a candy bar. It's a very popular. Sugar's a big thing here around Unity. Gotta say.
Listen, no judgment.
No judgment. I brought clementines, but that's just me. But anyway, we have our popular Halloween candy bar today, so thank you for everyone who played along, showed up in costume. Wendy, even if you don't win, girl, I applaud you. And if you'd like to serve as judge.
So no, I'm not being the judge. However, I would like someone here, or two, who's not in costume, to raise their hand to be the judge, a judge.
Oh, here we go.
Michelle and Michael,
What a surprise.
you're on. You're the judge.
Here we go. Couldn't have picked two better people. So if you brought some unopened candy, we're only doing unopened, wrapped in individual bags, please bring it back to the community room after the service if you haven't already. Place them all the way in the back on the candy bar tables. And somewhere along the way, we'll be given Halloween bags to put our candy in. And they are out there. If you haven't gotten one already, it'll be at the candy bar. Moving along, if you've been thinking about becoming a member of Unity of Greater Hartford, here it says TINK. I'm thinking think no longer, because now is the time. This Thursday evening, November already, the membership class on Unity Teachings will begin, and that runs for 3 consecutive Thursday evenings. So November 2nd, November 9th, and November 16th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., fortunately. There's no fee, but you do have to register, just so Rev Christine has some idea of who's coming, how many. And you can register online at the website, unityhartford.org, or you can email Rev Christine at revchris@unityhartford.org. Again, those dates are November 2nd, 9th, and 16th for the membership class on Unity Teachings. This will be actually done on Zoom, so once you register, another reason for registering and not just showing up, because it's be on Zoom, and the Zoom link will be sent to you with your registration confirmation. Next Sunday, November 5th, as Reverend Christine has already mentioned, we are having our mortgage release celebration, yay, along with our monthly potluck and birthday celebration, and our Keeper of the Light Award. So if there is ever a Sunday that you were thinking about showing up, getting out of your jammies, coming to join us, next Sunday would be that day. There's going to be a lot going on, so I hope really you can join us in person. It's a wonderful celebration, not to mention all the great food at the potluck, but it's really just kind of amazing, having been here since the beginning, to know that we're at this point. So beautiful. So the mortgage release celebration and the award will take place during the Sunday service, and obviously the potluck is afterwards. But you can watch the celebration and the award online if you do not show up in person. And don't forget to bring some food for the potluck if you are coming, and join us in this great release. And invite Unity friends to come in person and really make it a party. Maybe we could even just dress up again, Why not? And finally, all this going on, and we have to remember that our clocks fall back. Yeah, so please take that change into account.
We'll be so refreshed.
Does that mean we have to get up earlier or later?
Now we get an hour.
Oh, all right. Now I'm excited. It's that spring forward thing that I don't love, right? No, we're falling back. So that's great. That's another reason that you can get here on time, because you have a whole extra hour, right? So take that into account as you plan for your Sunday morning. No excuses to be late. If you arrived early to church, don't worry. Reverend Christine will always find something for you to do, so no worries. And that's it for the announcements, and now we're going to have greeting time. And as you know, we stay in our seats. We're not walking around the sanctuary, but please stand, remain in your seat as we say the Gandhi blessing, this call and response, blessing for peace. And again, just take a moment before we go into this prayer. We all know it pretty well, and it's easy to just, kind of say it rote, but just take a few moments to look around, connect with the people here, hold the people in line on your hearts, and actually, I would invite you to extend your energy to everyone who is in need of peace. I offer you peace. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. I hear your needs. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. Let us work together for unity and peace. Amen. And so it is, yes.
Is there like a sign-up list for the food for next weekend?
No, you just Yep, well, if you made it, it'll be unique to you, so there you go. Yeah. All right, so if you'll please join me in affirming our statement of faith, which is in the bulletin, on the bulletin, together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good, omnipotence. Amen. And now today's daily word is imagination. And the affirmation is, I imagine and create my most magnificent life. Woohoo! I admire the storyteller's gift for creating fantastic worlds where impossible things happen. I immerse myself in the story, allowing myself to feel the wonder, the exhilaration, and even the sadness that the storyteller's imagination has created. No matter how scary the story, there is nothing to fear. It's only a story. My imagine helps me create my life story. Guided by divine wisdom and will, I imagine a positive, meaningful life. If disturbing thoughts cloud my imagination, I remember I am God's living expression. There is nothing to fear. My spiritual gifts of faith, love, strength, and understanding join with my imagination to build the fulfilling life that my heart desires. Ooh. I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Joel chapter 1, verse 28. Again, today's daily word is imagination. I imagine and create my most magnificent life. And so it is. And now Reverend Christine, the judge. Here come the judge.
Will the ushers please come forward? This is a time in our service when we have the opportunity to experience and express gratitude, love, and prosperity. We know that when we freely and joyfully give, we are opening ourselves up to the abundance of the universe. But what does that mean? Opening ourselves up to the abundance of the universe. It means that when you give without an expectation of receiving, or because of what or regardless of what you've received, you're giving to give, then you are giving freely. So today, take a moment. Let's just take a moment to open our minds and our hearts to this giving that is done freely, that is done lovingly. A giving that comes from our hearts, a giving that is filled with joy. Let's just take a pause. Just take a pause. It's one of my favorite spiritual tools, the pause. Let's just take a pause and feel that joy. Feel that love. Discern that giving that is freely, joyfully giving by you. Yeah. So whether you're giving by check or by cash here in the service or giving online at our website with a credit card, hold that giving in your heart and bless it with your love. And let's also add an intangible blessing for everyone who is here today, whether they're here in person or whether they're joining us on our website or through Facebook. What would that intangible blessing be that you'd like to give? Perhaps it is peace. Perhaps it is imagination. Perhaps it's strength or love, harmony. Hold that in your heart also. Let yourself feel as grateful as you can to the God in you as your one true source of all. And then please join me in our offering blessing, which is also on your bulletin. Together, divine love flowing as me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive, and so it is. Amen.
There's been a change in me, a kind of moving on. Though what I used to be, I still depend upon. For now I realize that good can come from bad. That may not make me wise, but oh, it makes me glad. And I never thought I'd leave behind my childhood dreams, but I don't mind. For now I love the world I see. No change of heart, a change in me. For in my dark despair, I slowly understood my perfect world out there had disappeared for good. But in its place, I feel a truer life begin, and it's so good and real. It must come from within, and I change of heart, a change in me.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was beautiful. All right. Yeah, that's my gavel. Well, today we're going to talk about our spiritual power of judgment. Who's to judge? Well, this spiritual power has gotten a bad rap, so much so that years after Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote his book, The 12 Powers, Unity changed the name of the spiritual power. Yeah. The spiritual power judgment, well, it includes the attributes of wisdom, discernment, intuition, evaluation, and justice, among others. However, years after Mr. Fillmore published his book, the word judgment became synonymous with judgmental or critical judgment. But if you were to look up the word judgment in the dictionary, here's what it says. It says, it's the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. That sounds fine to me. And we all make many, many judgments throughout the day, from the moment we wake up in the morning to the time that we go to bed. You know, will I put on this shirt or that shirt? That jacket doesn't look that good on me. Oh, I really want pancakes for breakfast, but I'm on a diet. Or, that driver is driving recklessly. Or, I love my job. And then 2 hours later, I hate my job. We make judgments all day long. And in our metaphysical dictionary, the Revealing Word, judgment is defined as a faculty of mind that can be exercised in two ways, from sense perception or spiritual understanding. If its action is based on sense perception, then its conclusions are fallible. That means they could be wrong. And often condemnatory. If based on spiritual understanding, they are safe. I like how he says that. They are safe. Nevertheless, Unity decided that there was so much condemning judgment about the word judgment that they decided to change it to the spiritual power of wisdom, which is one of judgment's attributes. But I love the irony of all of that, that there's just too much condemning judgment about judgment. You know. Anyway, we can easily see how this aspect of the power of judgment that can be condemning. It can be critical. It can be judgmental, especially if used or exercised through our sense or physical perception instead of our spiritual perception. Now, here's a lesson learned that was written about by Dan Millman in his book, No Ordinary Moment. And it's a story about a boatman. Guy's rowing his boat upstream, and he's on his way home. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he feels another boat that's going downstream hit his boat. Well, he's furious. He has the right of way. So he turns to this other boatman and he says, "Watch where you're going. You're being reckless." Well, the other boatman is startled and says, okay. And he continues on without incident. Well, another hour or so passes, and then this boatman who's rowing upstream feels another boat hit him. He is angry again, and he turns in anger to yell at this boatman. But very quickly, his anger vanishes because the boat that hit him is empty. It must have come loose from its moorings and is just drifting along. He checked himself, went, all right, set the boat loose, and went on his way. From then on, he decided to never lose his temper again. And instead, he treated everyone like they were an empty boat. Yeah. So the person in the story decided to only judge with righteous judgment, knowing that the next person he met might just be another empty boat. Yeah. Might be unawares. Might be unmoored. Might be lost. Might not understand or comprehend what they were saying or doing. Might not care. This person decided to be responsible for their own judgments, and that perhaps at some point in time in their own life, they too were an empty boat, or could be an empty boat. Now, the Gospel of John, chapter 7, a teaching from Jesus takes place during the Feast of the Tabernacle in Judea, where some of the Jewish authorities were looking to arrest Jesus and maybe even kill him because he had cured somebody on the day of the Sabbath. Yeah, that's not a good thing. So some of the people in the temple where Jesus was teaching at that time asked him about this. And Jesus said to them, I did one work and you all marvel. Moses gave you circumcision, and now you circumcise a man on the Sabbath. If a man receives circumcision on the Sabbath so that the law of Moses should not be broken, are you angry with me because I made a man completely well on the Sabbath? I could just see him going, really? Really? Do not judge according to appearance, but judge with righteous judgment. Yeah. Jesus is asking everyone to employ righteous judgment, to pause, to breathe, and align themselves with their spiritual power of judgment before they decide, before they act. To judge with right judgment means to judge with love, to judge with grace, with space for the other person, with understanding, with compassion, with kindness. When judging rightly, we can often ask ourselves, what is my inner guidance, my integrity guiding me, asking me to do here? Now, has anyone here ever been wrongly accused, unjustly accused? Anyone? Yeah. It's not nice, is it? It hurts. Yeah, it hurts. Judging someone without love or kindness can be critical, condemning, judgmental. Yes, you can have an opinion that you didn't like what that person said or what that person did, but you don't need to condemn the person. Often when we judge from physical appearance, from our sense nature, we are condemning. Many people judge according to a person's color, their race, their sex, their sexual orientation, their physical condition, their appearance. All kinds of critical or unjust judgments are made. Last year, and earlier this year, we held a class that was called the Trance of Scarcity. Some of you were in that class, and so you'll probably remember this. I think it was in the first or second chapter. The author tells a story of how when she was younger, I think in high school, she went to a dance. And she met this guy, and he danced with her. And afterwards, he said, give me your number, I'll call you. She was all excited, she gave her number. She went home, she waited. And she waited. And she waited. Started getting very upset. What a creep. He said he was going to call me, and he didn't call me. Oh, that guy's a liar. I bet he's just trying to fool me. Maybe he thinks I'm ugly, and he didn't want to hurt my feelings. Maybe that's it. Or maybe is he playing me for a fool? What's he think he's doing here? And she got all upset. Finally, in tears and desperation, she goes to her older brother and tells him what happened. And this is what he said, but he hasn't called, and how am I supposed to judge this, and how am I supposed to think about this? Very calmly, her brother said, all you know is that he said he would call you, and he didn't call. All you really know is he didn't call. That's all you know, that he didn't call. And often that's how we are. We see or hear something, and we make a lot of assumptions, right? We fill in all the gaps, all the missing information. And rarely are we filling those gaps and that information lovingly. Very rarely do we go, oh, I bet they're just having a hard day. Yeah. Well, I'm having a hard day too. Right? So, what I often tell myself these days, all I know is he didn't call. It's a good way to keep myself remembering, what do I really know? What do I don't know? Can I leave space here? Can I be open? Can I give the other person grace? Yeah. So there are some other aspects that I mentioned about the spiritual power of judgment, and I still insist on calling it that. And part of that, another aspect is wisdom. Wisdom. Now, wisdom is not about knowledge that you might have. It's really more about applied knowledge. It's our ability to make decisions through spiritual discernment, evaluation, and even intuition. Here we are talking about an inner wisdom, not based on book knowledge, but more on our own inner compass or divine ideas of what is for the highest good. So, judgment, wisdom, which we might think is out here, we're going to make those judgments, we're going to be wise because of stuff out here. No, remember, if we do that on our sense perception, on the physical, it's probably not going to be true. So we need to start within here. And we know that because everything starts within. Everything starts within. Everything starts within you. Another aspect of the spiritual power of judgment is discernment, which is really about perception. Remember the empty boat story, perception. Discernment is not about relying on facts, but rather relying on an inner decision-making process. Discernment is certainly questioning, but without judgment, and often with suspended judgment. When we suspend our judgment, when we hold off, we can be more open, especially when we take time to go within, to take a moment to go within and be open to divine ideas. And often, though, we want to rush to judgment, don't we? We want to rush to judgment. And for me, when I'm rushing to judgment, I'm usually relying on my physical senses. I see something and I want to react like that, right? Luckily, as I have matured, as I've grown up, I don't do that so often. I take a big pause. I take a breath. Take a pause and a breath. And I take time to think. Now, those of you who are those fast people, get her done people. Yeah. Those get her done people, guess what? It is going to slow you down. And you get to appreciate that. The slowing yourself down. To take time to reflect and discern. And when I do that, when I slow down, when I take that pause and discern, then my conclusions are much more fairly considered. They're even more creative. And those decisions or those judgments flow more naturally. So discernment is not about forcing a decision or judgment, but rather about giving space for it to just come about. Using this aspect of judgment will more likely bring us to right judgment, that righteous judgment that Jesus was talking about. Certainly when we speak about judgment, we think about passing judgment on someone else, right? When we hear that, it's about them, me passing judgment on them, or them passing judgment about me. But what about the judgment we use with ourselves? Yeah. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, we find this statement from Jesus. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Now, Jesus seems to be saying that if I judge someone, someone's going to judge me. He's not. No. Jesus is talking about you, and only you. If we critically judge someone, it may seem like the only person who has been harmed or could be harmed is the other person. Not true. You have hurt yourself. Your condemning judgment began with your condemning thought. And that thought immediately went to work against you in some way. It started to imprison you. Oh, you will want to see my dog's outfit today, by the way. Okay. That thought imprisons you. Perhaps that thought imprisoned you in anger or sadness. Perhaps that thought upset your stomach or caused a pain in your lower back. Perhaps that thought mangled your integrity. All this happened even before you did anything to act on that condemning or critical judgment thought. And as I'm sure as you have heard before from someplace in some way, we can be our very best, our very worst enemy, right? We can be our own worst enemy. Or we can be our own empty boat. Yeah. Now, if you struggle with being critical of others or struggle with being critical of yourself, I have an easy cure for you. I have an easy solution. Ready? Yeah, here we go. What you're going to do is just remember that you and everyone else is the Christ, the anointed, that we are all one always. We take that pause, that spiritual tool called the pause, Take that breath and say to yourself, they are one with the divine, as am I. Today, I do not need to be the condemning judge. Namaste.
I love that final touch. That was brilliant. All right. Okay, so now it's time for us to form a circle, however you think best, and then we are going to sing together our Unity Peace song.
And we have seen some wonderfully creative circles.
We also might want to turn Reverend Christine's mic off.
Oh, yes. Am I still on? I'm still on?
Yeah,
Tony, I think my mic's on.
while we're waiting. Oh, these guys were ambitious over here. There. Beautiful. All right. You've done it. So let's all take a deep breath together. And we will sing. It's those costumes. They're mischievous. All right, let's take a deep breath and we're going to sing our Unity Peace song. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
And now if you'll join me in the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now if you'd carefully make your way back to your seats.
I love those sleeves. They're so long.
All righty. We just read for the three-headed, for the trio there too. And as we bring our service to a close, Reverend Christine will turn off the Christ candle. But as she does this, we affirm and remember that the Christ light within us can never be dimmed, for we are always one with the divine.
Well, thank you to everyone who helped with today's service. And I also, where am I? Look at this. Oh, I'm thinking, what is this note for here? I wrote it and it made sense when I wrote it, so it took me a minute. So, somebody said, where are all our sign-up sheets? Right? People who sign up bring the birthday cake and greeters and all that. Well, if you go out to the atrium and hang a right, the last office, right before the front door, is the volunteer room. And in that volunteer room, to your right, there's a big bulletin board, and all the sign-up sheets are there, all right? So everyone can find them. So thank you for asking, and if only I could read my notes after I write them. All right. But I also want to thank our prayer chaplains. Thank you for holding us in sacred space today during the service, and also to let everyone know that if you would desire one-on-one prayer, that we have 2 prayer chaplains who will remain in the sanctuary at the end of the service, and they would be happy to pray with you. So if you 2 prayer chaplains could stand up, Marie and Lee are here to pray with you. Thank you. All you need to do is go up to them and say, would you pray with me? And they'll take it from there. In front of you, in the pew that you're sitting right in front of you, in that little pocket, there is a prayer card. You can also fill that prayer card out, and you can bring it to the prayer candle table in the back of the sanctuary, and there's a prayer box. You can leave it in the prayer box, and that will be prayed over by all our prayer chaplains. And while you're there, you could, turn on one of the candles, say a little prayer, take an affirmation card to use in your daily prayer practice. And of course, if you're watching us online on our Facebook page or on our website, unityhartford.org, you can always email your prayer request to us. And you're going to send that email to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. Our prayer chaplains would be honored to pray with you. And of course, your prayer request, no matter how it comes, will be held in complete confidence. And there are many others who helped with today's service, and thank you to all of them, especially our worship assistant, Catherine. I love that costume. You'll have to, if you can't see it from here, you'll have to read it. And also thank you to our wonderful hospitality team. And that's Jocelyn, Georgine, and Joan. Thank you very much. Yay. And of course, we know that there are many others who help hospitality, help with setting up, and of course, help with breaking down. So if you could stay around and help clean up, we also thank you for that service too. Let's see, our tech team, they just keep doing the most amazing things. Yes, they keep doing the most amazing things. Yeah, Jim was here all Saturday doing all that. Yeah. So it's a new camera that's on the wall. It will track my movements. Of course, they have to know how to work it and set it. And so we're playing with it. And I'm looking forward to a time when I can even walk down there. And that may even happen next week, so we'll see. Yay. So yeah, they are doing amazing things. Thank you to Jim and Marty, to Julie and Tony, who are here with us today. We had 2 wonderful greeters. I should say 5, because there was 3 on one, but we had 2. We had Joe and Gail. Thank you very much, the 2 of you, for helping out. And thank you to our ushers, Deborah and Michael. Thank you very much. And to our wonderful choir, to Deborah and Liston and Rob and Wendy, and to our new addition, Mei Lee. So thank you very much. Mei Lee. Now, before our last song, we have to pick 2 winners of the Daily Word, and does our witch have all the, come on up. Catherine, why don't you come up and pick the 2 people today? Don't throw them out. Wendy has her, yes. And what's the second one? Liston. Wow. Good choir. So you guys pick which one you want, okay? That's every 2 months, Unity puts out a daily word that covers 2 months. So this is for November and December. And thank you to, I think, Alma brought one in, and Deborah. Thank you to bringing those in so we can get people more familiar with the daily word. Thank you. Thank you, Alma. Yeah. And of course, we need to thank our wonderful music director, Carolyn. And what is our final song?
Thank you so much. So this final song, I think, sorry about this, but I could use a little bit more. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There we are.
So this final song is called I Will Follow. It's by a band called Chapel Hart, H-A-R-T. They're pretty interesting. I think they were on like America's Got Talent or something, and they're just really cool if you want to check them out. So this is called I Will Follow. Mama always told me, don't be afraid to shine. Don't you try to please no one except the one inside. You can't change the weather and you can't change where you're from, the color of your skin or the beat of your own drum. Life will keep you chasing the wind, just to keep you chasing it again. But I know who I am, no matter what they say. When my heart leads the way, I will follow. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. It may be the road that nobody else goes down. That's the one I'm taking if that's just where I'm bound. There's always gonna be those voices doubting every step, but I'm just gonna listen to what's pounding in my chest. Life will keep you chasing the wind, just to keep you chasing it again. I know who I am, no matter what they say. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. Mama always told me, don't be afraid to shine this little light of mine. Life will keep you chasing the wind, just to keep you chasing it again. But I know who I am, no matter what they say. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for joining us here today, both here in person in the sanctuary and, of course, online. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday here in person, hopefully, or on our website or Facebook for the 10:30 a.m. Sunday service and mortgage release celebration and many other things. We also hope to see you this Wednesday at 7 on Facebook for the 30-minute meditation service that we have every week. We wish you a week filled with wisdom, discernment, and right judgment. Now go have some candy. All right.
Yeah.